Get back here! Who are you? Show yourself. Off-screen Longo? I knew you'd fail. Just like last season. You'll never guess the killer. Ever. Ever. No!
Oh, what a crazy dream.
Welcome back to Horrible, the show whose real nightmare is no new slasher next week. Did the season 5 finale turn heads or leave us feeling burned? Obvious huge spoilers coming, including my real-time reaction to the reveal.
That might be it.
So with all that and 2 episodes to get through, for the last time this season, let's
break it down!
Okay, episode 7 opens in a George dream about Terry, which turns pretty steamy pretty quickly.
Terry runs hot. Terry runs hot.
But then the mood and his head do a 180 and we're treated to this delightfully chilling imagery. Another feast for the eyes, as it appears the widow forgot to flip Dr. Melanda in the middle of cooking.
Looking a little crispy over there, like some chicken fried, mother.
Basil is released and returns home to a very warm reception from Verity. She offers him breakfast, but yet still won't let him dine her full-course meal.
I would only be familiar with the man I marry.
Rikers then goes to Regina so she can help him with widow stuff.
But I need that brain of yours.
After going over some evidence and the widow's latest freestyle,
These are so frightening.
Riker shoots his shot.
Perhaps you'd accompany me to the great Georges Rondeau's last show in the city tonight.
I don't know if that would do.
And says she should just stay with AMJ. Easiest money Steve Byers will ever make, by the way. Basil and Verdi are about town strutting their newfound chemistry when they have an awkward run-in with the Botticellis. And shouts out to the writing staff, because the vocab in this scene was like a goddamn locksmith verse.
I'm the byproduct of prophecy, the foreshadow of forced travel from my apathy.
Highlighted by an excellent back and forth between Viviana and Verdi.
After, we can have first circus.
Blew the whole circus away.
George is apparently also a fan of the 2003 Disney classic. And he descends not only into the earth, but into madness when he discovers that Margaret's coffin is empty. Basil's giving Verdi a special tour when George comes back looking a mess.
You're filthy, man. What are you, painting chimneys?
He says he can't do the show without Shanika,
It's sold out, and I'm not giving that money back.
and eventually they settle on Verdi's idea to let Venetia stand in for her. Venetia is upset that Viviana isn't stoked for her.
Why can't you be happy for me?
Can I dance a celebratory jig?
Things get heated and even physical. Even come showtime, Viviana's still all jelly, no peanut butter about Venetia's star turn and decides to roll out. Then right as the Sawtastic finale is about to start, the Widow shows up and catches Riker's eye, kicking off another great chase scene. Did the Widow just invent evasive parkour? Aside from a plot-thickening shot to the wrist, the Widow bests Rikers again in their Boneyard rematch. Things then go from magic to tragic when George actually saws through Venetia, killing her. It was due to a missing trapdoor key which Verdi notices on Viviana, and she is then arrested for the crime. The Magic Man just loses it, throwing candles around and pyro caution to the wind. But turns out George is next to die, and in just a snap, the Widow turns him from abracadabra to abracadabra.
Presto, you're dead.
I like the completion of his character arc, showing that his bravado and whole personality were just like his act, an illusion. Viviana is also charged with the Widow crimes and then given the full Portman treatment by, oh holy shit, it's Brigitte! But as we then learn, Verde is actually the one that caused Venetia's death. Basil's like super into it and convinces her not to feel bad.
You had to do this.
That. Something so horrible.
Aw hey, thanks for the shout out. Rikers walks Regina home, which leads to a heartfelt conversation, which leads to him checking her home, which leads to a kiss, which leads to... I just had sex! And the episode ends with a killer implication.
It's an implication of danger.
Here's a live look to see how Past Longo took this. Oh, I'm not totally buying it yet, but that might be it. And that was episode 7, but we still got a lot to get to, so on to the finale. Episode 8 opens with a Basil kiss and then him channeling his inner jagged edge.
Girl, let's just get married.
1,000 times, yes.
Well, capital.
Despite already doing the dirty deed, things are more lowercase over at Regina's. Rikers is feeling uncertain about his latest arrests, and after a quick suspect breakdown,
How does this connect to vengeance for Margaret Mahar?
he's off to do detective stuff. During breakfast, Basil and Verde receive what they think is an engagement gift.
What does everybody want?
Rikers gets there ASAP, but apparently not quick enough for Basil.
Oh, blue ribbon for you. In the meantime, we're left standing here staring at this abomination.
That's a man's head.
Or, you could just go in the other room. He takes his anger out on Gladys, which makes everybody saddest.
Forget about her. Focus on this fucking head.
Rikers pulls the note out of George's mouth, which is written on what can only be a CVS receipt. Didn't know they had those back then. He and Basil get into a heated exchange.
Moron. You incompetent fuck.
Whoop-de-doo. What does it all mean, Basil?
But I am now taking over this investigation.
And then Rikers heads off to go search for suspects in other photos from the infamous party. Then it officially happens. Regina goes to visit Viviana, who they did super dirty out here looking like Glenda.
It's because of the way I look.
You do look terrible.
She's confused as to why Regina isn't taking her side.
You're a vile, evil, self-centered little cunt.
And then, well, just play the clip.
I was her daughter.
Damn it. God damn it.
Please don't kill me, please.
Half right. Not on the part that mattered. Major props to Jonathan M, who had it nailed as Regina after the first 2 episodes.
Congratulations.
Turns out she faked all the possession stuff,
Just a little trick.
and she spares Viviana to live a torturous life of imprisonment. Rikers questions AMJ, who lets it slip that he's hip to knowing who the widow is, but won't identify her.
Why are you protecting her identity?
I have already watched the police and the courts kill one innocent person I care about deeply. I will not help them do it again.
Rikers is able to put the pieces together, and he goes to confront Regina.
You've been playing me for a fool.
No. What on earth is going on?
Look at this photograph.
She doesn't even try to deny it, and then we get a flashback of the party from her youthful perspective.
Sell her to the butchers for dog food.
I don't see how that could happen.
Also a very touching scene showing Margaret's true sympathetic motivation for trying to blackmail Basil.
We're gonna get out of here. Then we're gonna get us money so we can escape.
After an emotional back and forth, they can't decide on what proper justice would be.
I'm going to finish what I started.
I can't accept that.
Rikers then visits Viviana in her Botticelli and offers her a deal,
What do you need from me?
Proof that Basil Garvey killed Margaret Mahar.
which she rejects out of fear.
I will suffer. Suffer the most horrible death.
Even though it's been like 6 episodes and the dude hasn't even replaced his head of security. Rikers is then overthrown as superintendent, charged with the widow crimes.
That is ludicrous.
Get back, motherfucker. You don't know me like that. Get back, motherfucker.
And thrown in jail.
Wow, so it's gonna be hard for him to get out of that.
Actually, no, super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Oh, really?
Verde is once again maddest at Basil's poor treatment of Gladys, which worsens when he serves her up a couple knuckle sandos and then does his best Roman Pierce.
Ejectocito, cuz!
Basil shows up at the wedding only to find a corpse bride, and the only guest is the widow.
It looks like all the talking has been done. It's time for the main event.
They take turns exchanging offensive barrages, and then the widow gets the upper hand.
Do the move that you do. The gut and eyes move. Alright.
And the big bad's emotionally satisfying demise comes at the literal hands of a gruesome group effort. The basilisk is slain, and the group of survivors exits the church looking like they're about to drop the hottest rap video of the year. And the episode and season end with a bloody close-up of the star of the show. And that was the finale of Slasher Season 5 Ripper. All in all, a really fun and well done way to close things out and tie everything together. I had an absolute blast with this season. Given the time period setting, the wardrobes, and all the really fun dialogue, this is by far the most unique season so far. And despite being wrong about my season-long theory, I still loved the reveal. We also got some slashtastic kills, another super interesting group of characters, and just some overall great storytelling. Let me know what you thought of the last 2 episodes, the killer reveal, and where does this season rank for you amongst the other ones? And hey, why not one last time for the road, go ahead and do the YouTube stuff. Either way, do you. It's not like I'm gonna press you about it or anything. Seriously though, thank you to everyone who tuned in this season and contributed to the conversation. You're all genuinely what makes covering the show so much damn fun. And hopefully you'll stick around after this, because I got some fun stuff in the works.
We have such sights to show you.
But more importantly, hopefully Shudder greenlights season 6 ASAP. If not,
Excuse me. I just thought since you weren't able to figure out who the killer was, you probably shouldn't be allowed to close out the season.
But, yeah, I guess that's fair. Please do the honors.
If not, that would be horrible.